that you, Mr. Cooper?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. We have a couple other people on the call. Sorry about the delay in getting started. We're a few minutes past due. The call this morning took about 30 minutes. So I just am really thankful that you joined us. I know there's a lot going on. There's a lot of other things vying for your attention and mind share right now. But we just thought we would kind of run these so we can stay focused on maybe some things at hand with business, maybe some things coming up, and mostly just show some of the things we've done to the website, get you familiar with using different features and benefits that we have loaded on the website and things that have changed. So as I go through the 30-minute presentation, please know that I've created a static PowerPoint screen because we'll be uploading this to the website for people to download later on. So it's very self-explanatory when there's not me to explain it. There'll be live links on every slide if people have questions on how to navigate the website. So with all that said, we're going to get started. If you are you may want to just mute your phones unless you have a question, and please feel free to ask questions. So here's the agenda that we're going to cover today. We're going to review a little bit about us, and then we're going to jump right into navigating the website. So both Howard Miller companies, which is a parent company of Hekman Contract, both companies have been around for about 100 years, close to 100 years. In '83, Howard Miller purchased Hekman Residential, which had also been around since the 1920s. In '93, we purchased our upholstery company down in High Point, North Carolina, and then in 2002, the contract division evolved. And we've got about closer to probably 50 independent reps that sell all three of these lines across the United States. We have 2 points of origin of manufacturing. We have Zeeland, Michigan, which, think wood, office furniture capital of the world, typically a 6-week lead time on that, and it's going to be resident rooms, curios, cabinets, storage, and clock. And then as far as upholstery furniture, that's manufactured down in High Point, North Carolina, 8 to 10 week lead time, and that is typically the upholstery furniture capital of the world. And lounge seating, just a plethora of SKUs for just about every single area within senior living. Almost all of our furniture is made in the U.S. We do have in-stock collections that do ship under Hekman Residential, and we'll cover that in a little bit. So the markets that we cover, or that we manufacture for and sell into, is really senior living. I put that first because that's typically where we spend most of our time with engineering, design, development, manufacturing, and sales and marketing efforts. In addition to that, though, we do have some peripheral markets. Healthcare, which is on the more higher level of care, really, too, of senior living. I say non-acute healthcare, so it's going to be resident room, case goods, things like that. And then also hospitality, which is on the lower level cares, like independent living. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from hospitality. But we certainly sell into those markets as well with a lot of different products placed into both of those. As far as corporate office, that's not to be confused with like a Steelcase, Howard Miller, Trendway, Hayworth. It's typically more a residential home office. It's going to have a little bit less institutional feel, more welcoming, especially in senior living sales offices and discovery rooms. Just what you see here is very representative of what we sell, and these are in-stock collections, so they're ready to ship. And then lastly, we do still manufacture for higher ed. We don't spend as much time marketing toward that because we are consumed with senior living markets right now, but we do have this line available. It is incredibly durable and very beautiful. It comes in a variety of finishes and things. So any questions on who we are before we jump into navigating the website? I really glazed over that quick, but you can certainly find more on our website under the About Us tab. Any questions? All right, moving on. As I mentioned earlier, this PowerPoint was put together to be static. So I'll have a lot of screenshots like this of our website with live links that will tie you directly into the home page of our website. So here we are looking at the home page of the website. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of look right now at the different ways we can search. The first and probably easiest way, more native to a lot of us, is with this Products tab. And where you find this on the website is going to be right up here under Products. There's just this nice drop down, and it really gives you pretty much, access to whatever it is you want to look at. From here, you can just navigate around, get to the dining chairs and things like that, okay? So once we get on a product page, and again, this is a static shot with some animations, but you can obviously navigate the website as well. So one thing we get asked a lot is for high-res images. If you just click directly on a product, it opens up a high-res image to download for presentations for designers and things like that. We also have symbols loaded here that will designate if it's a lift and clean sofa, which this happens to be, there's a welt involved, if the designer maybe wants to do a contrasting welt, and then that includes a moisture barrier on there. It will show specifications, COM requirements, weight, and things like that. This list cost shown here is only because I'm signed in, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. There's also a button here that a lot of people miss, and it's a product options button. And that product options button, that drop down allows you to put casters on dining chairs. It will go from a senior living Gavin love seat here to a hospitality one with split seat cushions and moisture barrier decking. There's just different things, so don't overlook this. That creates a whole nother, especially under tables, it creates a whole nother drop down of options for you. And then at the bottom of every product page, there's going to be characteristics. More Gavin is usually families, I call them relatives of Gavin, so it might be seat, love seat, mid-length sofa, sleeper sofa, things like that. It'll also show you what fabrics, finishes, and add-ons could be. Perhaps it could be pillows, or could be a light in the bottom of a nightstand and things like that, as well as enhancements. So don't forget to look there under those things as well. I'm going to flip back here, just not to confuse you, but let's flip back live to the website and just look at a couple of things, since this is a little bit more of a tutorial. So here's the drop-down menu that I mentioned, okay? And then under this chair, there's not quite as many add-ons. Then it will show you fabric vendor options, finish options, and things like that, okay? What we're looking at now is, here's the download a spec sheet. So and here's the first, back up here a minute. Here's the high-res image we talked about. I just want to show you it live. And then to download a spec sheet, you just click on that. It creates a PDF down here and opens up a really nice layout, simple, but a lot of detail on here of information on that product page. And that's just a downloadable item. Okay, scooting back over to the website. The other thing that we've added, which has been really exciting for designers, they've been asking for months, is Revit symbols. Those are going to be found typically under case goods at this point. We're still working through those. They'll be added as we get them available. Upholstery is down the line a little bit. But just know that those are located under a symbol button under the actual product that you're looking for, okay? Again, remember to holler if you have any questions as I'm kind of blowing through this information. So the other ways to search are view by. You can view by category, which is going to be exactly what you see here. It's going to be room furnishings, upholstery. What is it that you're looking for? You can also view by room. So I'm looking something specifically for the dining room or for the library or entertainment area. Or by style. We've categorized them by traditional, transitional, and contemporary. So it's been really helpful. And part of the reason, I'll show you where that is on the website, part of the reason we do that is there are different categories of furniture used for different areas within senior living, in all communities really. So these are just scrolling category options. For instance, we'll look at an in-stock. And you'll just be able to scroll here. Here's by collection. Here's by accent pieces. So if you click on cabinet and console, I've got kind of a light internet connection here. I'm getting a little, let me just click. It might be, oh, there we go. So here you can see all the different nightstands. And these are in stock, meaning they're ready to ship. This would be like maybe for a model room or something like that. So there's just various ways to search. Close off some of these. You've got browse by room, browse by category, and browse by style. Part of the reason we have developed that, and I'm not going to spend a long time on this, there's about 4 slides. I just wanted to give you a little backstory on why we divided the website up this way. Mike Hall is going to be the sales manager on the Eastern Seaboard. He'll be doing a presentation tomorrow at 9 and 1:30, much more detailed on senior living focus. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about this, and so you can understand the methodology on why we developed this. Typically, senior living is sort of hospitality meets healthcare, but it's very dependent upon the level of care and acuity that's being specified for in the community. So one of the first questions I ask a customer when they're calling for pricing or questions on, hey, where's some new product introductions, I've got a new project, one of the first things I ask is what level of care is it? Because it really does determine often what they're looking for. And the reason is if it's more of an active community, independent living, 55 and over, affordable housing, an active adult community, that product typically tends to be a little bit more hospitality. This is just what I found in my 5.5 years here across the nation. They typically tend to go with a little bit more the aesthetic of hospitality. As that level of care and acuity increase, it goes to assisted living and respite, and then to skilled nursing, rehab, hospice, and of course memory care is very unique. It tends to lean more toward healthcare. So these are just some quick installation pictures I pulled showing an active adult, independent living, affordable housing type communities. It's going to look a lot more autonomous where they sit and eat. It's going to look like a hotel, maybe an entrance when you walk in, very grand. Much of the focus is spent on common areas. Very little money as far as the typical owner, designer attention is spent on the rooms because typically people are bringing their own. And they're active, they're very mobile. They spend the majority of their time with activities in the library, in the dining rooms, playing games, the entertainment, the pool table. Maybe there's just a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of trips and field trips and things like that. A lot of activities organized for the people. As you get into more, and this is again leaning more towards hospitality, as you get to the higher levels of care, and Mike will spend a lot of time on this tomorrow, more emphasis is placed on the resident rooms because people are spending more time there. It tends to look a titch more institutional. In the common areas, people are spending less time there. It needs to be very functional. They often have assigned seating and things like that. So that just kind of helps you see why we categorize things the way we did. Any questions on that? Just holler if you do. So another tab that's kind of important, and I imagine this to be changing at different times, is this tab called clearance. Right now, what we're featuring here is our closeout chairs, our overstock chairs, whatever you want to call them. These are just some things we have a lot of that we want to move. They are discontinued. We do have a significant amount of frames being built that are able to be built in a variety of different finishes and in any fabric you want to put on them. We list these because these are basically our preferred vendors. And then they have different glide caster options, and we've added some tables in here that we're trying to move as well. So if you have any questions, let me know. This is unusual that even if you're not logged in, people will be able to see the pricing on this, and they are rock bottom. So if you have opportunities, you have questions on these, please contact customer service, somebody here, Mike Hall or myself, and get pricing on these. We are willing to deal on these. We're excited about the opportunity to move these. All right, so we've covered what we're doing now is working through the resources tab. We're going to spend a little bit of time on fabrics, finishes, and hardware, and where that tab is found. So what we're going through, we've hit the product search. We searched by different areas, room, category, and style. We've hit clearance, and now we're going to go through the resources tab. Let me just log in real quick here a minute. Gives me a little bit more visual. So looking at our fabrics, Andrew is our marketing IT guy here at Hekman Contract who develops the website, and he's also tasked with negotiating with the fabric companies. So these are the 4 that work really closely with us. They've agreed to provide these e-fabric cards, which are phenomenal. And I didn't realize this at first, but was super excited to find out that these are actual virtual cards. And what I mean by that is they may not have soft fabric samples to look at, but these are all live. So if you just click on a certain fabric, it will bring you to a website that Stinson's developed for Hekman, which actually shows the grade of the fabric. It's just a really quick, easy way. Each fabric vendor chooses to partner with us in a different way, but it's just really interesting to see the different ways. Are all these virtual? Some are virtual, some are not. What's really neat about this, I didn't show this on the first call, Mayer has actually come out with cards for senior living fabrics and memory care, just fabrics that aren't maybe hot buttons for people. So certainly check that out. I'm having trouble loading this card. I don't have a great internet connection right here. And then the other thing that's really interesting is Andrew has all of these vendors loaded. So if you are a designer, pardon me? So if you're quoting something and you're looking at a birch fabric, it will show you all of the birch fabrics alphabetically that we have loaded. Here's the next button. It will go on and on. Likewise, if you want a specific pattern shown, anything with a DE in it will pop up, and you can see in that regard. But you can also search by grade. If you, let's say you have a low budget project, like I really want birch fabric, I'm looking for a grade 3, and it will show all of the different fabric available for that. So any questions on fabric, just again, keep in mind that we have 4 major vendors that we work with, Birch, Mayer, Momentum, and Stinson, but we will grade in anything, any vendor with healthcare fabric. The other thing I want to remind you, 2 big advantages I try to share on my appointments is we don't upcharge for split fabric. So I know a lot of our competitors will upcharge if you're doing a dining chair and vinyl seat, Krypton back, nor do we charge for COMs. Sometimes there's a flat fee. If you don't use our fabric, we charge you. We don't do that. There's no additional charge for COMs. In fact, I would encourage you, and I encourage most designers, to check both ways. If they're used to buying fabric, check with us on the graded in cost. See how they can do better. As far as finishes, those are all loaded here under just obvious tabs. They're divided by product category, so there's wood finishes. Matching those are high-pressure laminates. These are the ones, what actually goes on top, the HPLs that go to match these. We have ThermoShield finishes here, 26 or 27 now, upholstery finishes that match our case good finishes. And then we've also have our solid surface finishes, which have become very popular, just so much more durable, and that's becoming more and more of a thing. We're looking at adding a couple different designer colors to this. And then the TV console home storage, these have incorporated Howard Miller's finishes along with Hekman contracts. So that is your finishes tab. I do know some designers that before they start speccing, this is where they start. They want to see what finishes are available. It's that important. So going back to the resources tab, we're now going to look at downloads. So downloads is a spot, just think of it a library, if you will, on things we've developed over the years. And these are mainly brochures that you can email to customers, owners, just saying, hey, here's the options for dining rooms, dining chairs. These are a little outdated. I would always encourage people to check the website probably before this. But there are some new brochures here, like this memory care solutions brochure is something we just introduced about a month ago. It may not load here, but it's I would really encourage you to go through and read. There's a lot of information on memory care. It really talks about the products that we developed specifically for this level of care, for these people to take the anxiety and frustration out of their daily life. Again, an advertisement for Mike's sessions tomorrow. He'll be spending a lot of time on this memory care, so I'm not gonna wait for that to download. Below that is the Hekman contract price list. And 2021 will be uploaded. Rates just went into effect April 1st, so you can look for that in a month or so. New product introductions. This is a place where about every quarter, every 6 months, we'll just load a PDF, and it will show all of the new product introductions for Hekman contract. Marketing materials, those are just brochures that kind of maybe help sell some things, maybe explain, like, this is very helpful to Cleaning Simplified. I still use this one. It's old. It's probably 4 years old. It's one of the first ones Andrew did. But Forest Furniture, this is the difference between wood and thermo shield the features and benefits. And it's very helpful if somebody's trying to make that decision which way to go. Logos are here if you need them for anything. And then just contract miscellaneous, that's like a W-9. Last thing under resources is on location. And this is kind of a work in progress. Right now it has all of our installation shots to date. There's more coming. In fact, we're doing an install shots, I think, this week or next week, which we're really excited to load. And even our website, I forgot to mention at the beginning, it's only 6 days old. We just launched this new website, and Andrew is still working on it. And some of these new install shots you'll see on the website in some of the places that just have placeholders right now. So that will be coming, but feel free to download these if you need them for anything or have questions on product in these pictures. I'm going to jump back. So what we've done now is we've really completed going through all of the resources tabs. And moving back to the PowerPoint. So here's a logged in view, and we're going to cover how you log into the website. The advantage of logging in and registering for our website is that you are able to see inventory on the in-stock collections. These are things ready to ship. I call them the sexy part of Hekman. They're really just beautiful styles that make senior living communities, hospitality, resimercial, they just really make the community look stellar. And so the advantages of being logged in is you can see inventory, it's updated daily, and you can also see list price. And most designers or customers know approximately what their discount is, so this just helps for budgetary purposes if they're home on the weekend and working on a project and can't get a hold of their rep or customer service. Super helpful. So let's just peek at that a minute. I missed that screen. Yeah, let's go right here a second, and we'll just look at the sign-in and just review that. So I'm going to log out here a minute. Okay, so you can see up here on the top it just says log in. So this is the link that I actually send to people. I go down here and I go to new to our website, and this is the link right here that I have them click on. They'll continue to fill this information out and create my account. Andrew here will go through his filter to make sure it's okay to release pricing. This is fairly new to us. We just released pricing about 1.5 years ago, and we had never done that before, so we want to know who's looking at this. And so it goes through the filter of Andrew, and then the rep is like yes or no, yes, I know this person, and that releases pricing, or releases. The user gets an email confirmation just saying, hey, you're good to go. So I would highly encourage you, I mean, if nothing else hits home through this whole presentation, to be registered for the website really opens up the whole world of being able to see inventory levels as well as pricing. Some of the things we're working on, we're almost done here, and some of the things we're working on and that are coming up the pipeline, these are almost done. We have an affordable senior living design, and it's just really appeals to middle market design, which is kind of a catchphrase now in senior living communities. People want to be able to afford to live in these beautiful places, and part of that is the design that goes into them. Some designers have a real strict budget, and we're trying to hit home the fact that we've got product for about every level, whether it's affordable housing or 5-star senior living. It really lends itself to whatever they want to do. A lot of it, of course, we know is based on the fabrics. But frames vary as well. But this is I read through these, and I'm not going to show them to you now because I'm not going to steal Andrew's thunder, but those will be out probably in the next week or two. This other one is room by room and how to create a sanctuary for like memory care people and stuff like that. It's very, very helpful. And Mike might go through these more tomorrow as well, I'm not sure. The other things we're working on is an enhanced matrix experience. It sounds like something very complicated, but right now we have a matrix. I will not be reviewing it with you because the new edited version of what Andrew's creating is so much more superior with user interface. It allows people to shop for furniture like you would clothing and then put it in your, quote, basket. I describe Matrix as Pinterest meets Hekman. You create a project board, you need to be logged in, and I envision us probably doing another session on that once it's launched in another few weeks, maybe month. So just stay tuned for that. And then he's working on draping upholstery so that we can be able to drape upholstery in our 4 basic fabric vendors, which will allow a virtual view of what that sofa or chair or dining, it's all dining chairs, right? Sorry. It's dining chairs are the ones that are going to be up first on the draping of upholstery. And then the other thing is just all the Revit symbols that will be continuing to be loaded as they become available. I believe Andrew's doing it in complete set. Okay, good. Yeah. So just the takeaways from this presentation today, and then just a little time for questions and things like that. Know that our product is made in the USA. We do have in-stock collections that are ready to ship, but for the most part, your upholstery, your case goods with fabrics finishes are made to order. The breadth of our product, I'm hoping too, just through the website, through navigating around, you were able to see that we have so many SKUs for every space, room, and level of care in communities. And then just our stability, the 98 years of residential roots, the contract durability. Our roots are residential. That's where we came from, so it's pretty effortless for us to look like a home. Every designer I've ever talked to would admit that that is their goal for our senior living community, is to make it feel like a person's home. These are not patients. They're not going to leave. So they live there. They have a real vested interest in making it feel homey to them. And then added that contract durability with impenetrable fabrics, that's really what we aim for. So know that we've got more website innovation coming forward, and make sure you register for the website. Any questions on that data dump I just provided? Okay. I want to thank you again for joining me today. I really do. There's a lot going on, and I just appreciate you spending this time with us to learn a little bit more about our website and our E-Bootcamp. My wishes are that you will stay healthy and that you will spread calmness. Take care. Have a great day. Bye now.